Hi, good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk a little bit about pyrite. Um, and we actually were up at the mine Saturday and hit one heck of a nice vein, really nice vein. Um, and we're just waiting to get our test mill back up and running. But anyways, I wanted to explain to you guys, like I said, a lot of groups on Facebook and all that, people show pictures of pyrite, and a lot of people go, well, it's just a leverite or, Indian sex zone and stuff like that. And the reason why I keep on doing these videos about pyrites, and we're going to get more and more in depth here soon on pyrite that travels with copper, pyrite that travels with gold, platinum, and other stuff like that. So you guys have a comprehension of some mineralogy. Sorry, I was watching two little deer playing over here. And why us miners go after a lot of pyrites. And some pyrites are really cool. I'm going to show you. A friend of mine found one heck of a pyrite deposit, and he's hit it out of the ballpark. When it comes to just something really neat, and the reason why I'm looking down, is these are just Pyrite Cubes, and he's getting them in all different sizes, but look at that beauty right there. All right, those are really neat. I got a whole thing full of them. Here's another one. This one isn't cleaned up. And then there's this one here. So you guys can see those Pyrite Cubes. They're really neat. And you know what? These are one of my favorite. I love collecting those. As you can tell, I got all sorts of them sitting here. Anyways, what I want to show you guys is a chunk of pyrite. Now, we do know this has gold in it, but mainly what we're after is the silver content in this piece of pyrite. Now you guys can look. You can see the pyrite there. Okay. I wish this thing would focus better, but there's the pyrite. And now we're going to roll it over. See the silver? Okay, and I know it's hard because this is just a video, but you can see the silver with the pyrite. Now the thing is what you guys aren't seeing by naked eye, and you can kind of make it out in the video, is see that gray in the pyrite right there? Okay. To the untrained eye, that's just pyrite. That gray in there, see if we can't zoom in on it. That's silver. Believe it or not, that's silver in this pyrite. This little chunk right here probably weighs, and I don't have my scale, it's in the back seat. I would say roughly weighs about 3 ounces. And believe it or not, about half, I should say, because minus the quartz, I would have to say at least there's 2 ounces of silver in this. So that's why we go after pyrites, us full-time miners, and that when we're mining, we go after the pyrites. Now the same mine you guys seen the other day, Saturday, we were up at, I'm going to give you kind of a little history on that mine. So you guys, when you guys see me in there and on the videos, you'll understand the mine itself. Now, when they first started mining that, actually technically down below, about 500 feet down below, was called the Champion Mine. As far as anybody knows, that one goes in a little over 1,000 feet, and that one's right underneath it. But they had a severe collapse, about 500, actually about 300 feet in from the porthole. You go up on the ridge there, and you'll actually see a big funnel shape. I think they were starting to stope out, and the stope gave way and plugged it off. I have a map, original map, that shows that in 1923, and it says caved for many years. But I do know the Victor, that audit that you guys seen in my videos, the mine that we're working right now, that was started in 1898. So we're thinking 1897, the lower mine collapsed. Anyway, so they started punching that one in. And what they did is there's a little, on the waste dump there, off to the porthole, about 25 feet, is a little tiny prospect. And you can actually look in there and see the vein. So they hit the vein. Instead of following the vein right then and there, they came over 25 feet, came in at about a 45-degree angle, and then hit the vein. And the reason why they did that, and a lot of mines do that, is because your ore deposit's soft. And so if you just mine straight in on the vein there, what happens is weatherization. So you have a real weak porthole. And then you got to put a portico up, because what happens is it starts collapsing in on itself, cribbing. So that's why they came in over 20, moved to the east 25 feet, punched in, hit the vein, and started drifting back on the vein. Now, there's no big stopes in this mine. The assays, of course, any hard rock varies from 1 millimeter to the next. But roughly, the Victor Empire runs 300 to 900 ounces and plus in just silver. Now you're going, okay, Robert, well, why didn't they mine it out? Well, before core drills came out, that's how they core drilled. They just started mining in on the vein to see what the vein was like. Well, they kept on punching back, drifting back on the vein. And what they were mining out, they were taking and down 3.5 miles down to the Luke and Hazel mine, where the Luke and Hazel had a big, huge mill, and they were running it through that. And then shipping it to the East Helena smelter. So anyways, they drifted back, and once they got back there 1,100 feet, now you got to realize they were mining silver with gold and other precious minerals. Once they got back there about 1,100 feet, well, before that, it was the Victor Empire Mining Company, and then they merged with another company, and they became the new Victor Empire Mining Company. Once they hit 1,100 feet back, they switched to the new Victor Empire Gold Mining Company, because the majority of what they were mining turned into gold. And it was all in pyrites, people. Sulfide ore. And so then they punched all the way back. It's a little over a mile to the face. And that's when core drills came out. So in 1922, they core drilled 990 feet. They had a 4.5-foot vein, assaying 14.65 ounces per ton. Their guesstimation, and the reason why I say guesstimation, the water that came out of that core drill was so god-awful, it blew a lot of the silver was so soft, they said it blew it all over the place. And they had to wait months for the water pressure to drop. And to this day, a lot of water comes out of that core drill. Anyways, so what they did was they backed out. They went 1,100 feet from the porthole, and they started cutting a cross-cut back and trying to get to that vein. Well, what happened was they had $60,000, which nowadays $60,000 isn't much. Back then, you guys got to realize that was a lot of freaking money. They dumped all that money into that crosscut, and they went belly up because they were not stoping out. They weren't stoping the vein. So that mine shut down. Back in the 70s, some guys went in there, did a little bit, did 3 rounds, so that's 12 feet, or, wait a minute, 6-foot intervals, let's see, 2 is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 feet. Sorry, guys. It's still early in the morning. My brain ain't working. 18 feet, and they didn't have the money to go back. They are literally 66.5 feet away from that vein. We're not worried about that. That's all in due time process. We will punch back there the 66.5 feet, hopefully hit it. But that was the death of the mine, was that stupid crosscut. They could have just followed their core drill and would have ended up less footage, believe it or not. They went 2,800 feet and never hit because they ran out of money. So if they would have just went to 990 feet in the old workings, boom, they would have hit it. Plus, they could have stoped out. So anyways, that's the history on that mine. The mine quit producing in 1934. That's when they went belly up. And so, like I said, back in the 70s, this guy, Lynn Brown, he did a little bit up there, and that was it. So now when you guys see that video, you'll have a better comprehension. And a lot of mines, what they do is they punch in on the vein, and they follow that vein until it pinched out. And then they would go in and start stoping it out, okay? And that's what this mine was going to do, but they went belly up. So now when you guys see the video, you have a comprehension of why. So a lot of these old mines, you also have to understand, they had to make a certain amount of gold or silver and to make it feasible for them to mine, because you got to realize back then the shipping cost is what killed them, especially if they were packing it out on mule trains. Like around here, it was $2.50 a ton. So if you had a lead mine, and say lead at that time was 4 cents a ton, you have to pay 2 cents a pound. So you have to pay $2.50 a ton, okay, to ship that to the railhead. Well, it takes 30 tons to fill a car for a smelter to take that, because they're not going to take small batches, because they have to change everything, because every ore deposit's different. So they want 30 tons out of whack to make it feasible for them. So now you have mules hauling it to the railhead. Now you got to load it on the rail. Then you got rail shipping prices. Then it goes to the smelter. The smelter has to treat it. So now you got smelters fees. Then the smelters, and a lot of smelters rip you off. Then they send you a check. All right. Now they have to pay their guys. They have to pay all their overhead. So a lot of old mines, they had to be in a certain amount of gold, a certain amount of silver and stuff like that to make it feasible. Well, like here in Lincoln County, everything was so far away for them, good morning, Mike, to ship it. So a lot of these mines in Lincoln County are so freaking hot, it's unbelievable. It was just too costly for them to ship it to the railhead and then to the smelter. So a lot of these old mines don't think they're played out, because a lot of them aren't. Now, the big mines where they had railroads running to them and stuff like that. Good morning, my love. My wife's on here. You guys got to realize, those are, they're still going to have mineralization, but is it feasible to mine? It's hard to say unless you core drill and take lots and lots of samples. But the smaller mines, you might be hitting a hell of a strike. And that's just like with the Victor Empire. Now you guys see my honey mine, my baby, the Silver Crown. You guys seen ore from that thing, the big chunks of beautiful stuff. That is as high grade as you can come by, believe it or not. And that mine will have to do a whole different series of why that mine never took off. And that's the one we're getting 9.78 ounces per ton just in gold. And so we'll do a whole talk about that mine. I'll have specimen. I got one back here buried in the behind the sheet, but I'm not going to freaking get it out. Anyway, so getting back to the pyrites, you guys, don't think it's just pyrite, it's worthless. All right. If you guys find a really nice piece of, just say, iron pyrite that is like stacked dice, you could be looking at thousands of dollars for somebody to buy that. If you find a big, huge square piece, there's people out there that'll buy that for a paperweight or just something to put on their shelf. So don't think that just if it's pyrite, walk away from it. Because right here, I showed you guys, this pyrite right here, look at how loaded that is with silver. And actually, the camera really brings it out. So you can see your pyrites. I'm going to try to hold it still. There we go. Focus, you fucking thing. There we go. You can see the pyrites. All right? But look at right there. That's silver, people. That's very, very rich silver. So don't think for 1 second that it's pyrite, it's worthless. Because I'm going to tell you guys what. It has a 50-50% chance of being good or bad. So I want you guys to know, I'm getting so sick and tired of seeing these groups on Facebook where people ask a question and they're showing pyrite and people are like, oh, that's just full gold. Throw it away. Or that's just a leverite, or it's just pyrite. If you don't know and you want to answer, just do what I do and any other professional miner. You don't know until you get it assayed. All right? You will have pyrite that will be the same way mixed with gold. And you can have free milling gold mixed in with that, people. The thing is, we get a lot of free milling gold when we crush that stuff and we run it across the table. A lot of times you'll get free milling gold and then you'll have a bunch of sulfide gold. All right, so that means leached. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. I just wanted to do this video. I was cruising on Facebook again. I got on one of the stupid sites and somebody had asked, hey, what is this? And it was a very, very beautiful piece, which I can almost guarantee you it's very high in gold. And there was people saying, oh, it's just pyrite. It's just a leverite. It's worthless. I don't know why you picked it up. I private messaged the people. I said, look, have it assayed because I guarantee it's high in gold. And they got a hold of me. I gave them an address for an assayer, and they're going to ship it off. And I guarantee you, it's probably going to come back very high in gold because the indications are there. And it looks like it's going to be astronomical. So, anyways, I just wanted to make this video. Like I said, on some of these mines around here, I'm going to start doing some history of these mines. Tomorrow, I'll try to get on here and do the history of the Silver Crown mine. So today, I gave you guys a little bit of the history on the Victor Empire, the one that you guys see us working in right now. I'll go through one of these times when I have time, do a video of where they were at what time in history. Where they were back only 300 feet, what date. So you guys can get a comprehension of how slow these guys had to move sometimes. I will tell you what, we have some very, very hard mineralization in that mine. The other problem is there's a ship pot full of tungsten, so the old boys were wearing out drill bits left and right trying to drill into that. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you guys have a wonderful, beautiful day, and I hope this gives you kind of a better idea on pyrites, why us miners love pyrites, and we're always looking for pyrite. And then one of these days, we're going to do a video when I get out. I'm going to be going over to a friend of mine's patented lead mine. And just real quick, give you guys kind of a story on that. They've been, forever, people have been trying to find where the big, huge deposit is up there of lead. And this stuff, I have some in the back of the truck. I'll pull it out so you guys can see it. was just, it's astronomical in lead, people. Holy shit. There's spots where it's soft. I mean, it's almost pure lead. Anyways, we were standing up there, and I said, Dave, it's right there. And he was like, oh, no. They think it was over here. I said, Dave, no, it isn't. I said, there's Eureka Tunnel. Here's this tunnel. I said, right there. Right there. They were in between that. If they would have kept on coming over this way, they would have nailed that vein. And he goes, how do you know that? And I said, Dave, I could see the brush. This brush always grows where there's lead deposits, and I can see it growing right up that draw right there. So he took his mini excavator over there. I shouldn't say mini, but it's like a 150 Hitachi. It's small compared to a 400, of course. And he dug down, and guess what they exposed? The lead. And so we'll explain what we look for when we're out there prospecting, looking for different minerals. Now, you guys got to realize there's different plants all around the United States, or all around the world. And so you got to know the plants in that area and start studying them and really looking, because that's how we find the stuff, is we have to figure it out. The brush I'm talking about, we call it cocksucker brush. I don't know what the name of it actually is. Never have. Never looked it up, because trust me, you start walking through it. Excuse my English, the first words out of your mouth is cocksucking motherfucker. I am serious. Everybody that tries to walk through that crap will tell you it's thick, it trips you, it's real pliable, so it wraps around your foot. It's like tripwire. And so, yes, the first words out of your mouth is cocksucking motherfucker. And so a lot of people around here, we just call it cocksucking brush. Anyways, looking for different types of like lightning strikes and stuff like that. So we'll go through all that stuff, so when you guys are out there prospecting, hopefully you guys can hit it pretty good. Anyway, so I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you guys have a wonderful, beautiful day. If there's anything you'd like me to discuss, make a video on, let me know, people, because that's how I get these videos out. Like today, I was just cruising along after I picked on the boss, of course. Cruising along, and I happened to see where these people were saying, oh, it's just leave it right where it's at. And I'm looking at it going, oh my God, that's actually really high gold pyrite, arsenio pyrite. And so I private messaged them, and that's why I decided to do this. I also have some very, very good pieces at the house. I will be showing you guys, and you'll get a better comprehension of how the pyrite runs with the silver. So, anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful, beautiful day, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye-bye.